going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Trick 10s. Today I have a cool project here. I don't do a lot of stuff like this. The first kayak we've ever had on the channel, and we tricked this thing out. Sham helped me out with this. It turned out really cool. This is the Bonafide XTR 130. This is the Cadillac of kayaks right here. It's got this big front deck on it. It's got lots of storage space inside of here, and it's pretty big. It's basically like a plastic John boat. Now, you got lots of electronics in here. I'm going to give you guys a full run through of what we did with this build and show you what's going on with it. I did modify this trailer. That was the bulk of what I did to it. And we've got a lot of cool add-ons into this thing. Check this out. All right, so on the back of the trailer, we did put these LED lights on here, and we added on this pipe right here. Now, this pipe is an 1.5-inch pipe, and it runs up. We had to bend this in the pipe bender. I added a custom, a little flare to it. Got the Trick 10s logos into these 90-degree gussets up here, and that just helps keep this thing nice and strong. Now, I did have to add 2 more cross supports in the trailer because I wanted to make sure this thing was going to be strong enough and be in the right location to hold the vertical support of this big pipe on here. This pipe runs all the way up. It actually comes 7 feet from the ground to the top of it up here. And what this basically is for is like a rod tube sleeve or a rod box, or he can have a tackle box or something mounted on the side of it. And he's going to put that on at a later date. But we just wanted to give him the capabilities to add that wherever he wants to have it. Now, the way this comes over the top, it has 2 lights in here. We've got a rigging light, and this is basically just a strip rail light. You can use this when you're in the kayak and working on getting all your stuff ready early mornings when it's not exactly daylight outside. You got a nice light right there. And there's a switch on the back side that controls that. And then off the back right here, we've got this little 4-inch spotlight. And this is hooked up into the new controller box we put on the trailer. I'm going to show you guys that. And that comes on when you put the truck into reverse. That gives you a whole lot more light in the back because you can't see nothing when it's dark out there with the stock lights that come on the trailer. So that's a big plus. Come check this out. All right, so this is the box right here. Now, this trailer was a small jet ski trailer. It came with a 4-pin prong connector on it, and we upgraded it to the 7-pin. Now, with this box, it's pretty simple to do because it has all these studs in here, and each one of these does something different, like your running light, your brake light, accessory, reverse light, and they all have little studs on them where you can just put eye connectors and you run the original wiring from the trailer into here, and then you run off of here if you want to add stuff. And that's how we added that reverse light in there. And we also stole power from the tail lights, the running lights, to hook up the strip light. Pretty cool. On the bow of the boat, we do have a Motor Guide XI3. And this is a 36-inch shaft. It's a short. It's perfect for what you need on the kayak. Sham did hook this up with a pull cable. And this is pretty neat because that way you don't have to come all the way up on the front of the boat to deploy this trolling motor. He's got a pull cable hooked up here. It runs into the back with a handle. And he also has this up onto the actual trolling motor head itself. That way, once it's in the water, you can pull this to get it back up onto the boat without having to get all the way up here and tippy-toe on the very front of this kayak. Now, it's a pretty big deck up here. You do got a lot of room. But this is a nice accessory that makes it a whole lot easier to get this trolling motor in and out of the water. Now, up in this front compartment right here, I'm going to deploy this trolling motor just a little bit. We've got 2 batteries. We also have some controllers inside of here. This is a Lifetime 100 amp hour mini battery. This is a 45 amp hour Lifetime battery, and both these are 12 volt. Now we have this 45 that basically controls all the electronics in here, and this 12 volt is basically just for the trolling motor on the front of the boat. Inside of here, we've got this switch panel. This is for the nightlight system, and this one over here is for the rock lights that are in the boat. All right, that gets us into our second compartment right here. Now, this one's pretty cool. This is basically the bulk of the deck right here. And this one has a graph onto it right now. He might actually move this back a little bit onto this other rail right here. But this is a pretty cool Yak Attack graph mount right here. And this allows you to attach it right into the existing racks on the boat. Now, inside of here, this is wide open. This is all storage. And he has plenty of tackle storage and room inside of there to put all his gear and stuff. There's also an option with these holes right here. You can add a second chair just like in the back, and you could run this as a dual system with 2 people fishing at the same time. This graph that's on here is the Lowrance, and we're running the Eagle 9 on this. It's basically like live scope without the black box. It may not be exactly the same as some of the active targets and the live scope from Garmin, but it's new. So this is what we're running in this Yak. Then right behind that, we've got these controls for the outboard. I'm going to show you guys that in a second, but this is pretty cool. It's got a nice little system where it can slide back and forth. You can put your foot on either side, and depending on which way, which foot you push forward or backwards, Well, that's going to determine which way the outboard motor actually spins. Let's go check out this motor real quick. All right, so this is the Newport NK300, and this is probably the perfect motor for a kayak this size. It's basically equivalent of like a 3 horsepower outboard. It's very small. I mean, it's got some weight to it. It's not a piece of junk, but the way it's mounted is very simple. You can pull this one pin, you can take this whole motor out of here. And the way he has it set up with these carabiners and all of these cables, that's how you steer the thing. And then this one right here is for your reverse. And then it just has the power going up here. And the cool thing about this one is you can set it to where when you're running, it can be free to pop up in case you run into some stumps or something like that. Kind of like a larger gasoline outboard motor. Now you can put larger gasoline motors on these kayaks, but this is probably more beneficial, to be honest with you, because gasoline motor might be a little bit too quick. Inside of here, we've got a Time USB 36 volt battery inside of here. And it's got a nice little box for it right here. You can strap this thing down in the back. And this is going to be powering just the Newport outboard on the back of the boat. He's got a couple rod holders in here. This is the actual control box right here for the Newport system. Pretty simple. It's got your controls over here for your throttle. And then obviously you steer with your feet. And this is just like your kill switch. It's pretty neat though. It's right here by your side. And this is the bracket that we got for the forward-facing sonar. This is the dugout bracket. And we got the transducer mounted down here on the bottom. We still got to get the clip to hook that on there, but you can get a feel for how it's set up. The customer did upgrade his seat in here, and man, I tell you what, this thing is really nice. I mean, it's the Cadillac of seats for the Cadillac of kayaks, and yeah, that Tempur seat is really comfortable. It really is a humongous upgrade for something like this, in my opinion. All right, guys, so this kayak is sweet. Pretty cool little project. We built the trailer on here. This thing turned out dope. It was cool to hook up with SHAM and actually get some stuff done together, and you know, I think it looks pretty good. I wish I had time to take it out on water because I'd like to do a stability test myself, but it's not in the cards with this one. I got a good feeling that some of you guys are going to start bringing us some kayaks, though, and we can set you guys up with something like this, something better than this. It's all up to you. Either ways, guys, I do appreciate you guys watching. Hit that like, subscribe button, leave a comment. I'll see y'all next time. We got to get back to work.